What up, what up? Welcome back. I'm your host, B. Ryder. It's my co-host,
J. Bell.
and this is
Final Thoughts.
Today's topic, the rise and fall, and maybe rise, of R. Kelly. Let's check it out.
So R. Kelly was just found guilty of about 14,000 crimes, including racketeering. And, they actually went after him in an interesting way. They found a clever way to bundle all these charges together, and they got enough evidence and enough testimony. And so he's found guilty of all these sex crimes and racketeering. And Crystal and I had this conversation on Crystal Kyle and Friends recently. I suggest you check out the video if you haven't yet. We debate whether or not we would still listen. Will you still listen to R. Kelly's music? And you can broaden out this conversation. Do you still listen to Michael Jackson's music? Do you still listen to Chris Brown's music? So is there a separation between the art and the artist, or can you not get past the crimes that were committed so you feel like I can't really even enjoy it anymore, and even if I did enjoy it as a matter of principle, I'm out. I can't do it. Okay, so that was the conversation we had. Well, the public appears to have a very clear answer to that question. Take a look at this. This is from The Hill. R. Kelly's album sales grew by 500% after conviction. R. Kelly's music sales have spiked since he was convicted for sex trafficking and racketeering, Rolling Stone reports. The R&B star has seen double-digit gains in streams and triple-digit growth in sales since he was declared guilty on all charges against him on September 27th. In the week following his conviction, R. Kelly's streams increased from 11.2 million to 13.4 million, while his album sales climbed 517%. Additionally, his on-demand audio streams rose 22%, and his video streams increased by 23% compared to the 7 days prior to his trial's conclusion. Good googly moogly. Would you look at this? So, listen, we come right back to the same conversation. Are you okay with listening to it? Why? Why not? I really think it's a complicated and nuanced conversation. So I polled my audience on this on Twitter, and maybe I'll do the same thing on YouTube. I'll do a YouTube poll on this as well and see what you guys think. On Twitter, it was 55% to 45%, which is super close. Usually when you poll something on Twitter, it's a blowout in one direction or the other, 70-30 or something like that. 55% said, separate the art from the artist. I can still enjoy it. 45% said, I can't really do it anymore. I find that fascinating. I mean, if I'm being honest, the music is fucking good. Like, that's the problem.
Alright. R. Kells.
Aura.
Robert.
Robert.
What is his middle name? Is something real sensitive. Robert Theodore Kelly or something like that. I don't know. Harlequin Kelly. Apparently, his album, his streaming and everything else is going up 500%, and it's going through the roof since his conviction. This isn't the first time this happened either.
No.
When he was first got caught doing all of this, and after the documentary dropped, his sales shot up again.
Yeah.
So this is really the second time this is happening. Just through the roof. So I guess what the question is that okay?
It just seems like when something happens to someone's favorite celebrity, or like people who's on his status, which GOAT status, like his music is really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before all of these things came out, like he was a whole vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like people are treating it as if, well, we better listen to it now before it go away forever, big fella.
Not gonna be able to listen to Bump and Grind and Honey and all that.
12 play, all that.
Oh, that's gonna be gone soon.
Which is crazy, because it won't.
You don't think so? You don't think other platforms are gonna snatch it down?
They can snatch it down. You can still get it.
Oh yeah,
it's
gonna be available.
As long as it hits the internet, it's there forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be available.
That's a fact that people have to accept.
You're gonna be able to get it, even if it might not always be through legal methods. You'll be able to get it.
We went through the LimeWire
I was
era.
thinking about that.
Kazai, Bear Chef.
Viruses I had on my computer, boy. Lord, so many. Boy, and I used to download a bunch of back-to-back 53%, 43%, 98%.
Oh my God, download.
Get up and leave. I'm going for the rest of the day.
So painful. Kids these days will never know.
You'll never understand. Never understand.
But I think that, and I call it unintended consequences. So it's kind of like, well, he's going to jail now. You know all that, and people are streaming, and you know it's due to. And we talked about this in our last video. Him being canceled.
You know, full circle every time.
It's due to him being canceled. So, and this is one of the situations where I think cancel culture should be.
Yes.
That we do think it has a foot. It should be a part of society. It's just that it can go too far. But
right. This is an example of cancel culture working properly. Right. How it should work. Somebody like R. Kelly, finding out that he has taken advantage and had a sex trafficking ring, basically, and people finding out about that, and people posting it all over and saying, I'm no longer going to buy his albums, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, until eventually a documentary gets brewing, and then people start looking into it, FBI, and then his subsequent arrest, and now his conviction. This is how cancel culture should work. Not looking at something that somebody said 20 years ago, and then, we're no longer going to buy his records or go to his movies.
Off the shelves and all that.
That's stupid. This, good job.
Yeah.
This is good.
That's how it should be.
Right.
But you have to accept the unintended consequences of those actions, and it just is what it is. It goes with the game. Any publicity is good publicity. Yeah. Damn, I couldn't get through that.
16 of those have been for court.
Drinking too much.
But that's how it is. You know, even if it's negative or good, or it's always good because look at it. Look at it. His percentage of sales is just outrageous. Right. You know, and you would think, because people champion cancel culture so much that it wouldn't reflect a society that has this in it. You know, you would think that, but
who knew? So some of that, you know, part of Kyle's argument was like, you know, like you said, people rushing because maybe we won't be able to listen to this anymore. Which that's a part of it, definitely. Some of it is people wanting to support as well, which we'll never be able to differentiate between that. We'll never know how much his uptick in sales are for people who are like, yay, R. Kelly, or like, I gotta get this 12-play album before I'm not gonna be able to get it again. You know,
that is crazy to me.
So,
and it's like, whoa. So he got convicted of this. You want to go and get his 12-play album. Continue. You know, like, okay, that's what we doing.
I get it. So that's really like the main question is like, should we still listen to R. Kelly's music? Is that okay? I don't
actively listen to it, but if it's on, I also don't actively try to get it turned off. Like if it's in a club or a bar that I'm in and it's playing, okay, I don't feel uncomfortable. I'm just like, all right, it's
not gonna be caring about it, and this needs to.
No, I'm not about to do all of that. That's doing way too much. Is doing the most. I don't get to project my feelings onto everybody and make my feelings overrule everyone else's feelings, even though I feel my feelings are justified and
Right.
more reasonable. I can feel that way because it's feelings, but I don't get to, overtake everyone else's feelings, because they got people who like it should be played regardless to what was going on and all that kind of stuff. And there's always that great divide between the people who would rather them not play stuff like he wrote and or sung, and people who do.
Right. And it's an interesting discussion. I've heard and seen people talk about it to where it's like, can you separate the music from the man, or can't you? Or should we be able to separate the music from somebody's work? And it's a legitimate question. Some people can't do it,
right?
And I completely understand that, especially if you've been through any kind of trauma like that. I could definitely see you being like, I can never hear his voice the same again. At the same time, there are people who some of his songs are like maybe your wedding song.
or was.
Like
it already happened before what's going on today. Right. So it's kind of like
some of his music brings you back to a time that is important for you, right? Or to a moment. Now, should his actions destroy that moment and what that song meant to you? That's really kind of up to you.
Up to that person,
So I don't really begrudge anybody who can't listen to his music or doesn't want to listen to his music anymore. Or somebody who's like, well, I don't give a damn what he did. Like, this song means a lot to me, personally. So...
yeah.
I get that.
And you're going to have a lot of people that feel like that.
Yeah.
And then the other person be like, well, you're just... And then, they're going to point the finger at judgment and stuff like that.
Of course.
And honestly, it's a tough one to weave through. I personally, like I said, I don't actively try to engage in any R. Kelly shenanigans. I personally don't, because I know people who have been through the trauma that you kind of spoke about a little bit earlier, and knowing that is enough for me to just be like, I'm straight, I'm good. Like, I'm not gonna die if I don't listen to R. Kelly. I'm just not.
Right. I get that. That's I wish more people kind of had that reasonable take about it, because there's also like the argument of streaming or downloading his music, and where does that money go to? Because if I think everybody would pretty much agree that if it was going directly to him to perpetuate his actions against women and girls and some boys, I think all of us would wholeheartedly agree, like, no, we're no longer buying any of R. Kelly's music or supporting it stuff. Like, that's an easy decision to make, right?
Yeah.
But what's more complicated is kind of like, where does the money go to now? I would say a lot of it goes probably to the record label. He's probably going to see some of that money, but at the same time, he's probably going to be going to jail more than likely for the rest of his life. So, but at the same time, they got him on racketeering, which means that this was a business, which means that he had people around him that helped facilitate
that were complicit.
Right. That's the part that bothers me, is that any of the people who help facilitate this, are they going to see some of that money? And that's the part that I have a problem. Is the person who brought these children to him,
serve them up,
going to touch this money?
I think a lot of people have that same issue. Right. When we all heard about it and was getting the facts about it, it's just like, his the people who support R. Kelly was definitely making that argument, like, if he going down there, everybody gotta go down.
Right.
And I was just like, I agree. I just don't agree for the reasons that you're agreeing. You are upset that the GOAT is being taken down. Yeah. I'm just like, we getting a messed up individual out the streets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, from continuing
Harm.
from continuing
Yeah.
doing stuff like that. That's the way I looked at it.
Right.
I don't care if he's Robert Kelly, Roberto Kelly. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I get that. I would hate to spend any money knowing that that money could be touched by people who helped him do these things. That's what I come at from. It's like because I like R. Kelly's music. Sometimes I sing his songs and practice them, because he's an excellent singer. Mm-hmm. But the idea of me going stream or purchase anything is kind of like somebody who helped put like a little girl in harm's way might get some of this money, and I don't even like thinking about that, about helping them. No. And we might never know who these people are. We might never know any of these people who helped him, because it might be like one of his bodyguards, you know what I'm saying, who helped, who saw it happening and didn't say nothing, or helped bring people back and forth, knowing that this girl a little young, but hey, I'm getting my check, so but
yeah, man. What you thought? What you thought about your boy when he said something about Chris Brown? What did he say? Hit different.
Where Chris Brown stuff hits right.
I was like, so you ain't hear yourself say that?
Surprised he ain't laughing at himself.
Bruh, it was immediately.
It's a little different. Word? Really, bro?
Word.
That's what we doing?
Word.
I
thought that was so hilarious, bro.
That's going in there. That's definitely going in there. Bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got any final thoughts, sir?
Yeah, my final thoughts is like much of what you just previously said about the people who were complicit in the just like giving up those kids to, just serving them up on a platter to R. Kelly. And that includes parents, bodyguards, whoever was involved and knew about it and just were okay with it because they were getting paid. That's never good. Like, do you not have a mom, a sister, a daughter, cousin, stuff like that? And where's your moral compass? And I just really, really, really would want our society to just be much better than what it is. Like, if you see something, say something. Like, we have to get better at that. Yeah, we going through tough times. We need money and stuff like that. But does that really outweigh what's happening to a young child at the hands of a predator? Your final thoughts?
Yeah, my final thoughts is the whole back and forth about should we listen to it, should we buy his music, is really, it's up to you, up to you and what you can deal with, what you can your own moral compass and how you justify things. I would like for nobody to raise any hell about somebody else listening to his music, because that's not for you to do, so try not to wild out about it if you can help it. You are what you do, right? People are what they do. The problem is people do 50,000 different and contradictory things every day. So it's hard to figure out who you are by what you do because of everything that you do. The moral being, people are complex. People are nuanced. Just because somebody can listen to R. Kelly's Bump and Grind and not be completely disgusted by it doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. So that's pretty much it for me. That's what I gotta say about it. But what are your thoughts? Tell us what you think. There's a comment section down there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once again, thanks for listening to our ramblings. I'm B Ryder.
J Bell.
And this has been
Final Thoughts.
More widely understood that R. Kelly and MJ are awesome in terms of their musical ability, but Chris Brown is a little more controversial. I guess it's, my age is the perfect age where right in that millennial zone where Chris Brown stuff hits right.